Hey everyone, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and I'm here with the 2020 Hyundai Elantra Limited. This is a compact car, compact sedan. It's going to compete with your Honda Civic, Toyota Camry, Volkswagen Golf, Mazda 3. It was refreshed in 2019. It's got a 2-liter naturally aspirated inline 4 with 147 horsepower. You're going to get about 35 miles to the gallon in mixed driving. You might get over 40 on the highway if you drive it right. So we're going to go through, take it for a little drive, walk around, let you guys see it, talk about the car and whether it's worth your money. Let's go. Overall, the styling on this refreshed Elantra is, I'm just going to say it's weird. I'm not a fan of these very sharp angled triangular headlights, especially the direct front-on view. It's just, I mean, it's not as polarizing, I suppose, as the new Civic design, but I even kind of like the Civic better. I think this is a weird mix of kind of juvenile and just not very nicely styled. I mean, overall, the rest of the car is inoffensive, and I know Hyundai was trying to make the Elantra have a little bit more of a styling statement than it did in previous iterations. From pretty much the entire life of the Elantra, it's been a bit bland. This one, I don't know. I just don't think they went the right way with the styling. Other than the front end, nothing's really offensive. Got a few nice accents. This limited trim has nice wheels. This is kind of cool. In the back, if you come back here and you want to open the trunk, you're looking around for a button, can't find anything. It's hidden right there, right in the middle of the Hyundai badge. They started that with the Sonata a few years ago, and I think it's a really cool design element. Trunk is pretty simple. You do have a spare tire, a little compact donut there with some tools right nicely on top. That's nice to see. Other than that, no hooks, no storage. Pretty basic. Fold the seats down from here. 60/40 split folding rear seats. And this is another kind of cool feature. I'm going to lock the car, step away, step back, get out of range of the proximity key here. Let the car fully lock itself and shut down. Now, say I'm walking back from the grocery store, my hands are full of groceries or a suitcase or baby carrier or something, and I need to get into the trunk. Keys in my pocket, I walk up to the vehicle. It starts beeping. 4 beeps, and on the 4th, the trunk opens right up. Then I can sort of lift it up there, set my groceries or suitcase or baby in the trunk, close it up. Nice and easy. Let's take a look at this rear seat. Unlock it here. All 4 doors unlock. Very nice. That is a setting. I gotta say, this gray leather, not really a fan of it. I think it kind of looks economy car cheap. I'd much rather have a black or even a tan. Overall, room is okay back here. I'm 5'10", and my head is hitting the ceiling just a little bit in the back. But other than that, it's a pretty good setup. We got a little armrest here, folds down. Lock the seat back there. You've got 1 seat back pocket in front of my backpack. A decent amount of room. You've got cup holders in the doors. A little bit of pocket space there. Simple, straightforward rear. The 2019 refresh for the Elantra not only brought exterior styling upgrades, it also simplified the interior. You've got a nice coherent design here in the instrument panel. You've got a nice symmetrical design in the center stack, reminiscent of Hyundai's luxury brand Genesis. Your radio controls for the infotainment display up here, and HVAC down there. You got some heated seats, wireless phone charging, which I think is great, USB port, regular auxiliary port. All the materials are hard plastics. I mean, there's a little bit of soft stuff here where you touch, where your elbow rests, and this is a little bit softer where your elbow rests here. Other than that, everything's pretty hard to touch, but it's not really to a fault. I mean, you need to cut costs in the economy car sphere, and I think Hyundai overall did a pretty good job in the interior, even if it is a bit bland with these colors. All right, let's start it up and go for a drive. Now, the biggest fault of the Elantra is actually no fault of its own at all. It's really its competition. The Elantra does just about everything right and everything okay. The engine, 147 horsepower, naturally aspirated, 2-liter, inline 4. It makes 147 horsepower. It's plenty enough. I mean, if I bury the gas here, it gets up and gets going. But when you're comparing it to everything in its class, the Mazda 3, the Volkswagen Golf, the Honda Civic, the Toyota Corolla, they've all got more power and all got a little bit more pep in their step. The Elantra also has a very good and very competent continuously variable automatic transmission. It kind of simulates a regular transmission in the way that if I manually shift it here, it's got pre-programmed modes. Like you can see, it says 4th, 3rd, and the revs actually very quickly adjust. And if I floor it, actually I don't want to get going that fast, so I'm going to slow down and get down into 2nd. You can feel it actually lurches right there. Then if I floor it and get up to the red line, it shifts itself. So it really acts like a normal automatic transmission there, which is pretty cool. And other than that, it's really refined around town, around all sorts of driving. You can see I'm in smart mode right now, one of the 3 drive modes, and just switch the transmission back to normal and the revs fall right down into a comfortable range. The CVT helps it get good gas mileage, relatively responsive, and it's not too loud or drony, especially with the kind of automated shifts that Hyundai puts in there. But it's still just not as exciting or as inspiring as anything else on the market. Sorry, I shouldn't say anything else. Among the leaders of the market, the Elantra is plenty good. It does everything you need it to, but it's not going to excite you in any sort of way. The steering's good, the chassis is good, the car's light, it gets competitive gas mileage, it's priced accordingly. But who goes out and aspires to get a Hyundai Elantra? The only reason I could see to pick this over a Honda Civic or Mazda 3, the beautiful new Mazda 3, or the very refined Volkswagen Golf, or the incredibly reliable Toyota Corolla with great resale value, the only reason to get the Elantra over any of these would maybe be if you can get really good financing from the dealer, or if maybe you can't get financing from those other dealerships because of your credit score, and a Hyundai dealer will give you financing. And I suppose the warranty is the one thing that sort of sets the Hyundai and its sister car, the Kia Forte, over everything else in the competition, because you're getting a 60,000 mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. It's either 60,000 miles or 5 years, or the powertrain warranty is 10 years or 100,000 miles. And that is really good. That's much better than anything from its competition, especially now that Volkswagen is pulling its 7-year bumper-to-bumper warranty. I've been driving the Elantra around for about a week now, and I do like it. It does... Oh, car's yelling at me here for being over the lane, but I want to give this walker as much room as they can have. I do like driving the Elantra around, but if I owned this car, it would already be boring to me. I would already be not wishing I had another car, because it does everything fine and it's probably going to run very reliably, very fine for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of miles, many years, but nothing about the design or the way it drives or any of the features are exciting. They're all very textbook, very conservative, just well executed, but not outstanding in really any sort of way. Let's take a little highway drive here and you can see what it's like at 75 miles per hour. Steering in right there. The steering actually does feel pretty good. I just had a Mini Cooper Clubman S a little while last week, and the steering on that was so numb and dull and heavy, muddy-ish that this Elantra actually feels pretty refreshing. Blind spots are pretty good with this car. Not really anything too obstructive. Plenty of power to get up to speed on the highway. Gauges are nice and legible. You've got this multifunction display in the center that you can see a nice big digital speed readout, or go through and get your standard fare of fuel economy readouts, trip, odometer, all that sort of thing. All right, let's show you how the cruise control works. It's a pretty decent cruise control system. Set it to 75 with adaptive cruise, set at its closest follow distance. And this is kind of interesting about the Elantra's cruise control system. It does have an active lane keeping assist that works quite well. I'm going to go around this corner here. I'm not going to touch the steering wheel. I'm just going to let it turn all on its own. Look at that. It's following the car in front of me. It's following the lane, staying nice in between. You don't have the ping pong effect going back and forth. And now it's warning me to put my hands on the wheel, give it a little bit of wiggle, and right away it goes away. The interesting thing about this is that the Elantra doesn't really tout this as a feature. Nowhere does it have special branding, or does Hyundai call it autopilot or pilot assist like Volvo or Tesla or anything like that. They just say active lane keep assist, and it's kind of meant to kind of fade into the background and for you to not really know what's happening. But if you don't like it, press that button right there and it's off, and then the car will drift out of its lane like a normal car. It's got blind spot monitoring. It's got a decent sound system. Check the link below in the description for a sound system test that I did on this car. It's the upgraded Infinity premium audio system, and it's, for this price range, it's pretty decent. It's not nearly as good as something you'd get in a higher level car, and it does miss out a little bit on the high highs and the low lows and kind of the power of a more powerful system. But for $27,000, it's decent. All right, we're gonna go meet up with Chris from the Topher and hear what he's got to say about the Elantra as well. Hey Chris, how's it going?
Hey Charlie, did you bring my hamster outfit?
That would have gone perfect with your Kia Soul, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would have felt like an ad campaign 6 years ago.
Yeah. We've got a little battle of the Koreans here.
We do.
Now I know you've been driving the Kia for a little while, and I know you've driven the Elantra as well, and this has what auto journalists typically complain about all the time, a continuously variable transmission supposed to whine, drone, and this has a dual clutch transmission supposed to be speedy, quick, like the best thing next to a manual. Did that pan out for you?
No, it's the complete opposite. It's so weird. I feel like my 20-year-old self is screaming inside. And I prefer the CVT over a 7-speed DCT.
You heard it here first, everyone. Preferred the CVT.
Yeah.
So is there anything else really that sticks out to you other than a decent CVT with this Elantra? What do you think about the looks? Is it too much for you? Is it too little?
I like the exterior.
Wow.
I'm not a huge fan of the interior. I think the exterior is nicely proportioned. They've got these new funky headlights going on. I know a lot of people don't like the way this thing looks, and I don't know. Beauty's in the eye.
I think you and I are going to have a counter of Charlie versus Chris likes and dislikes on appearance, because
Yeah.
I am the other way on this car. I don't like the refresh. I think it's overstyled. I think they're trying too hard with these triangles. The back is okay. The back is a little bit more reminiscent of Elantras of past, but I think the front's just a little too angular and weird. However, I almost see reminiscence of the Genesis lineup in the interior.
Oh,
I think it's I think the center stack, which we'll see when we get in fact, we can take a pop in now and we'll take a look. I see kind of a symmetry. Oh, well, thank you for opening the door for me.
Yeah.
I will agree with you that the materials are cheap, all around, pretty much, other than where your elbows touch, here and there.
Sure.
You're dealing with hard plastics and borderline okay. I mean, it is an economy car.
I think just my least favorite thing is all the gray.
That was going to be my second point. Yep.
I mean, really,
if this were tan, it'd be a completely different story.
Or darker, or maybe a contrasting color.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a nicely padded leatherette type thing, but
Sure.
you can't really visually tell it apart from the hard plastic. So.
No, and this gray fake leather is not doing it any favors as well. It just makes the entire interior look rental car.
Yeah.
So,
Should I hop in?
yeah, hop in. Let's go for a quick drive.
So how fast does this thing go in reverse?
Well, we're not going to find out here. That's for Daily Outlaws, our other channel that you can't find on YouTube. But I will agree with you that the interior, while a little, it's well designed, it's clean, it's easy to use, but it is bland. And my time in the car, that's kind of what's spoken to me, is that nothing really speaks to me with this car. It's inoffensive, it's efficient, it's competitively priced, but other than the warranty, which for those of you who don't know, we're dealing with a 10-year, 100,000 mile powertrain warranty and a 5-year, 60,000 mile bumper to warranty. Other than that, is there anything about this car that really would pull you to it?
I mean, it does everything well. This is the Korean Jetta.
The Korean Jetta.
It doesn't really have many flaws. The technology in it works well. Everything's implemented nicely. The infotainment is great. The access to all the buttons and knobs and switches, Kia really gets that right. The lane keep assist actually, I think, works a little bit better in this than it does in the Kia Soul. The Kia Soul is a little bit jerky and
it works surprisingly well. It's an active system, and I covered that in our Winding Road videos, and for earlier in this video actually, is you can take your hands off the wheel and it'll steer, but yet it doesn't advertise that. But I agree with you. There's nothing it doesn't do well, but at the same time, nothing screams out to you. I almost wanted to do a poll around town, a little video poll of random bystanders of if you had to buy a compact car, what would it be, and see if anyone even mentioned the Hyundai Elantra.
Yeah, I will admit I did kind of forget about the Elantra.
Sorry to anyone from Hyundai here. It's a great car,
but it is good. I mean,
yeah.
There's nothing. Everything here is what you would expect from Hyundai. There are no glaring omissions or so.
You've got a decent sound system. You've got wireless phone charging. You've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, dual zone climate control, heated seats. I mean,
I would like a heated steering wheel.
I agree with you.
But in Michigan, right this time of year, that's all we really care about.
Yep.
And the rest of the year doesn't matter.
And I think we're a little spoiled because I think we had a few cars there with heated steering wheels, and then you get in that habit of clicking that button.
Yep. So I mean, I found surprisingly little to say about this car in my review, and I was like, am I missing anything here? No, it's good. it has one of the better CVTs that I've driven.
Yep.
And I think it puts its power down really nicely for, what is this, 147 horsepower?
It is only 147.
It's not a lot. It feels like more.
I will agree with you with that. It is relatively light, just over 2,800 pounds curb weight.
Yep.
So that helps. But yeah, torque is even lower. It's in the 130s. But this transmission does make the best of them. So it's competition. We're talking Honda Civic. What's something about the Honda Civic that draws you to it?
I really like the packaging of the Honda Civic. There's so much interior space to the Civic.
A little more inspired design, whether you like it or not. It is a little more exciting. Yep, those engines are more powerful than this. Toyota Corolla. I'm thinking. I mean, it's so dead reliable.
Or the new sedan.
New sedan. Yep, new 2020. It's that's going to be dead reliable for years.
And they offer a manual.
They offer a manual.
It's going to be quite good to drive. The
resale value is going to be great on any Toyota you buy.
Yep.
And then you've got Mazda 3.
No one called Charlie's mom.
You've got Mazda 3. Looks beautiful. Beautiful materials and all the trims.
Yeah, the new Mazda 3 is almost a kissing luxury.
Yep.
Small sedan / hatchback territory.
And then you've got Volkswagen Golf that is a surprisingly refined ride, even for a car that's kind of getting old in the tooth in its generation. I mean, you get in that car and you go, wow, this is in the same class, and it's refined. And
now Volkswagen Jetta, I drove a Jetta S.
Okay.
That's the base model. Right?
I believe so.
Worst sound system I've tested in any modern car.
Really?
Like a 90s Volvo.
Well,
like an early 90s Volvo.
We will be sure to do a sound system test on the next Jetta we get.
A Jetta with more niceties and a higher trim level would be a lot nicer. I don't know. I would have this over a Jetta, I think.
I think that's a good comparison, this versus the Jetta, because I kind of like how you said it's the Korean Jetta, because they both do everything fine, but if I were buying in this class, they wouldn't be my money. for either of those.
The warranty on this
Mm-hmm.
is very compelling.
It's compelling, yes.
Yeah, because some cars in this class, their reliability is a little bit. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? Like, a Nissan Sentra.
A little foreshadowing.
Sorry, but they have a history of having some issues with their CVTs and really only a few companies get their CVTs right. Toyota does a nice job, Honda does a nice job, and I think Kia Hyundai does a nice job.
I think they did as well.
And they've got a warranty to back it up. So I know they've put a lot of work into making their vehicles reliable these last 10 years or so, and shouldn't have any issues with this.
Yeah, 2013 Elantra went over 1 million miles not too long ago. Yep. So you can definitely get more than your warranty's worth on these cars. It's just it's if a Hyundai Elantra is calling to you, I think there's no problem with it. You'll have a wonderful car for many years. But if you really want something that's going to stand out and be exciting after more than a week of ownership, I think your money's got to go elsewhere.
I will say this is an easy car to live with.
It's absolutely
Visibility
easy.
is great.
Visibility is good. Controls are very ergonomic and they make sense and straightforward.
Easy to get in, drive, and sip fuel. It rides well. Like it's just nice.
It is. It just fades. It's a hard worker. Really.
This almost feels more Jetta than the Jetta feels like today.
All right. Let's take one final look out here.
Oh, something I don't like: the racing flag gauges.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to come through on the camera, but that is a little bit more sporting than it should be in this car. Well, the Hyundai Elantra, it hustles hard, it tries, and overall succeeds but doesn't exceed. So definitely go check one out if it's something you might be interested in. Take a look back on our channel, Daily Motor, for more videos. Thank you to Chris from the Topher. Be sure to check his channel out. And we will see you on the next review. Drive on.